Hi everyone. In today's video, I'm diving into the mind of the covert narcissistic parent. How their subtle manipulation can drain your energy without you even realizing it, and how to start taking back control of your life. Before we dive in, I want to invite you to join my free training, Build the Self You Were Never Allowed to Have. This training will help you build a solid sense of self and get the family dysfunction out of you. I'm Jerry Wise, and for over 45 years, I've helped hundreds of thousands of people break free from the grip of dysfunctional family dynamics using a powerful method of self-differentiation and family systems thinking. My mission is to help you build a strong, confident sense of self, resilient, powerful, empowered, and free to live beyond the pull of others' control, others' manipulation, and others' dysfunction. Let's talk about the covert narcissistic parents. Their manipulation isn't always obvious. It's subtle, but just as exhausting. They often come across as kind or selfless, but deep down it's all about control, validation, and dominance. Here are some of the key traits of covert narcissistic parents. Perceived victimhood. Covert narcissistic parents always make themselves the victim. Somehow everything becomes how they've been wronged, or not understood, or they've been abused in some way. You'll hear things like, well, after everything I've done for you, how could you do this to me? And I think of an example that I remember narcissistic parents asking a family, why can't you and your family just wear these expensive Christmas sweaters that we always buy for you and get them for all the family members so we can have this family photo as a tradition every year? But don't you dare not want to do that. They will say, we've done this every year since you were a child. And we've bought these expensive sweaters. You should be grateful and enjoy the tradition of all of us together on this family photo. But you know, as you get older, that may not be something you want to continue. Maybe your kids don't want to continue it. Are we now going to enforce this tradition in which so many people are unhappy to have to do it so that the parent or parents will remain happy? And I think that's a real problem, because then it ends up being emotional manipulation to get you to do it. And again, they feel put upon because they've gone to all this trouble. But they never did ask everyone, would you like to continue to do this? Is this something you'd like to do this year? Instead, they assume, and also in many ways want to coerce you to do that and guilt you if you don't. Covert narcissistic parents know exactly how to pull the guilt cards. Tears, fake illnesses, backhanded compliments. It's all designed to keep control. Also, they lack a true sense of empathy. Their empathy they wear on the outside, but it's not felt on the inside. Covert narcissistic parents act like they care, but it just doesn't come across as real empathy. Because if you try sharing your feelings and suddenly it's all about them, you think you're hurt, well, what about me? And they will respond with a self-centered response. And self-focused and self-centered are two different things. Self-centeredness is unhealthy. Self-focused is a healthy trait that we want to learn to treat ourselves in this way. Covert narcissistic parents often are passive-aggressive in their approach to you and others. Covert narcissistic parents won't come at you directly. Instead, it's sarcasm or silent treatment or little digs disguised as accidents. And again, it may be benevolent sounding put downs. Things like, well, of course you wouldn't understand. It's not like you really ever listen. And you've had that problem ever since you were a child. And again, they're trying to explain something, but it's a put down at the same time they're trying to explain it. And also, they're making it your fault for not understanding. Narcissistic parents often have the perfect facade. Covert narcissistic parents look amazing to everyone else. So kind, so generous, but behind closed doors, it may be criticism and control. And don't forget about your success. It's suddenly your success is their achievement. And they will many times want to step in and take credit for any achievements that you may have. Covert narcissists also struggle with dependency and control. Covert narcissistic parents find ways to keep you dependent on them, whether that's guilt or sabotage. They also will use different phrases that sound in a nice way, but actually are not really nice at their core. Have you ever heard, "I just don't know what I'd do without you"? It's not a compliment, it's a tactic. Now, that doesn't mean no one can ever say that and mean it in a kind way. But for the covert narcissists, they mean it in a way of complimenting you in a love bombing way versus genuine affection, appreciation, gratitude. It's more, again, it sounds nice. "I don't know what I would do without you." And then tomorrow they would treat you horribly. So it's like, well, do you not know what you do without me? Or is it easy to treat me horribly? Well, it's both and a covert narcissist will do both. So what can you do? Here are some self-differentiation tips. First of all, Ross Rosenberg uses the phrase, observe, don't absorb. We do want to learn to be researchers and watch people who are dysfunctional, not absorb what dysfunction people exhibit, but to observe it. Understanding how their covert narcissism is still within you if you've had a covert narcissistic parent. Maybe we're still blaming. Maybe we're resentful of their image management. Maybe we still feel a lot of guilt and shame when we're around them. And I think also we may want to recognize their two sets of behaviors that they may have as a covert narcissist. And they will, on the one hand, act as everyone would see them in a very, quote, normal way. And then they have the other set of behavior, which is not normal and often is controlling, manipulative, and emotionally manipulative. Then we want to look at ourselves and see, do we do any of those things as a part of our programming? Not because we have that personality disorder, but because we've learned that's how you get by and that's how things work. Detach emotionally. Stop looking for their approval. Start seeing their actions as they really are. Give up those fantasies that you have about having the perfect family and give up your need to change them so that you will feel better. Do you know that I can feel better whether anybody changes or not outside of me? I can still feel better. I can still recover. I can still get on with my life and become the self that I've always dreamed and wanted to be. Shift your focus to building the self you were never allowed to have because of their behavior. Focus on you versus focusing on them. And again, that's a self-focus, not a self-centered focus, but a self-focus versus an other focus. And we always stay focused on the narcissist. We don't want to do that. We want to focus on us and how we can change, grow, mature, develop, reduce unhealthy programming, and have the life we truly would desire to have. If you're ready to finally break free from a grip of dysfunctional family dynamics and build a strong, confident sense of self, free from others' control, manipulation, or dysfunction, join my free training today. Start building the life you were always meant to live. Click the link below and get started. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Hit bell, the icon, that's a little bell, so that you'll be first to get the new videos that come out on my channel. I publish weekly. It's a time to get your family out of you and finally be the true differentiated self you can be. I want to thank you for watching. Have a great day and be wise.